Your online course sales page is where interested buyers get information and make their purchase decisions. So how effective it is in getting potential students to buy can make a huge difference in your course sales and profit. So in this episode, I'll share 3 tips on increasing the effectiveness of your sales page and help you avoid some of those common mistakes. Hi, welcome to the 10K Course Creator Show. My name is Steven, and this show is all about helping course creators grow their online businesses to over $10,000 per month in the fastest and simplest way possible. So without further ado, here are the 3 tips. Tip number 1 is focus on solutions and transformations instead of lessons and modules. Now, intuitively, course creators think that potential students want to know all the details about the course, so the sales page, they talk a lot about what the students will learn in the course, what are the lessons, modules, and resources, etc. Also, they tend to go into excruciating details about themselves, the teacher, their qualifications, and the experience on the subject matter. However, students don't pay money to buy lessons and modules. They pay money to buy solutions and transformations. Now, they don't care if there are 50 or 100 lessons. They don't care if there are 20 PDFs and downloadables. They care whether this course can help them reach their goals and how long it's going to take for them to get there. So start the sales page not with the focus of what the course content is or who you are and your qualifications. Rather, focus on the students. Start with who this course is for, what kind of struggles or challenges that the potential students might currently be facing, and how this course is the perfect solution for them to help them reach their goals. Now, you should still talk about the course content and your qualifications as a teacher, but not until later in the sales page where the potential buyers already understand who this course is for and whether it is right for them. Alright, the second tip is use the sales page to bridge the buyer's gap. Now, often you'll hear potential students say they didn't end up buying because the course was too expensive, or maybe they just don't have the time for it. Now, in reality, those are just excuses for a deeper reason of why they didn't buy. Reasons that they themselves might not even realize, so the top of mind reason they can come up with is money or time. Now, I actually talked about the buyer's gap in detail in another episode, so I won't repeat too much here, but basically, the real reasons people don't buy comes down to 3 things. 1, they don't believe they can do it. 2, they don't believe it will work. Or 3, they don't believe it will work for them. Now, as long as you can shift their mindsets about those things and they know for certain this course will work for them and get them results, they will be willing to prioritize the time and the money into your course. So find out why your potential students might not be ready to buy. Close that gap with your sales page by answering their deepest objections and bring them a new perspective about your course, your solutions, and your methods. Once that gap is closed, most of the time, they don't actually even need any details about the course before whipping out their credit card and heading for that checkout page. Alright, tip number 3 is demonstrating the success path. Now, closely related to tip number 1, remember, students aren't buying videos and lessons modules. They are buying solutions and transformations. So the more clear you can paint that picture of what the transformation looks like, the more likely the potential students can see how they can do it. And here's where you can use a tool called the success path to help. What it basically is, you're breaking it down step by step, how to go from where the potential student is currently at all the way to achieving the desired goals or outcomes. Take one of my courses for example. It's an English course for Chinese speakers. Their current state is they cannot speak much English or at all. They've learned English in school and maybe they can read and write some, but their conversation skills is near 0. So the goal is to become conversational in English and be able to talk with a native speaker with confidence. Now that's a long way to go from A to B, right? And there's a chicken and egg problem where they cannot get good at English if they don't practice, but they aren't even at a level to speak English to even practice. So they're overwhelmed by this big goal and they don't believe they can do it. And that goes back to the buyer's gap. So now I show them my method and my success path. The first step is rebuilding a solid foundation, revisiting things that they already know but not well enough and practice that a lot. Then next step, get a lot of input, maybe watch TV shows, watch YouTube with subtitles, gain enough exposure, increase their listening, and then the final step, they can practice conversation and finally reach their goals. So by breaking down this big goal into smaller steps, it allowed the potential students to see more clearly how they can also do it, and it's a very effective way to close that buyer's gap. I've talked a lot about buyer's gap in this episode, and I've mentioned I've already done another episode where I talk about the buyer's gap and the real reasons people aren't buying your course. That's episode 10, and I've put the video on the right over there. Now, if you want to learn how to effectively close that buyer's gap and sell more courses, check out that episode. I'll see you over there.